So we have the standard formulation of flavor to corn syrup to water, and that ratio ends up being 1 to 12 to 30, like it says in the problem. There's a sport formulation, though, where some of these change in respect to each other. We find out that the ratio of flavoring to corn syrup, so that's these two here, ratio of flavoring to corn syrup is 3 times as great as the standard formulation, so that ends up being a ratio of 3 to 12. And the ratio of flavoring to water, that's these guys, is half that of the standard formulation, so a lot more flavor. And in order to be half that, we would, instead of being 1 to 30, it would be 1 to 60. To get this number lined up with the previous one, we would multiply each of these times 3. So that ends up being 3 to 180. And then the new ratio for, I'll write it over here, flavor to corn syrup to water ends up being 3 to 12 to 180. The question then asks us about the relationship of corn syrup to water in 3 ounces of the formula. So we only really care about this part, that's 12 to 180. So it's 12, for every 12 ounces of corn syrup there's 180 of water, but we need to figure out how many are in there with 3 ounces of corn syrup. So we would divide the numerator and the denominator by 4. Or excuse me, by 3. And we end up with that those relate in 3 ounces, the parts would be 4 to 45. Answer choice C.